I'd like to pose this question to the audience of this speech. What makes animals susceptible to our testing under the guise of research? If we are the dominant and prolific species, why can't we advance ourselves past the needless waste and preventable suffering caused by animal experimentation? Real evidence proves, without a sliver of doubt, that animals are aware of their surroundings and can feel pain in the same ways we do. When you're at the doctor's and the man in white's needle is closing the gap between your arm, what thoughts race through your mind? Will this hurt? Could this take time? Who is the person giving me this? What will happen to my conscience? And so on. An animal is at an even greater disadvantage to a human because not only are they not afforded the comfort of knowing that the doctor is licensed, to them it is a figure much larger and ominously outside of their evolutionary curve. Our science has proven that an animal has a similar brain capacity to us. They can be afraid, terrified, anxious, and most importantly, can feel the stinging pain of cosmetics and other human products being tested upon them without their consent or forewarning. In the first decade of the 21st century, we ought to be aware of the harms these practices cause to the other species of this planet and recognize that we can use any of the other host of technologies available to us to infer what our product's outcome will be. It is for these reasons that I stand in firm proposition of the resolution resolved. The United States federal government should ban all testing that requires the use of animals. As said by one of the world's most respected humanitarians, life is as dear to the mute creature as it is to a man. Just as one of us wants happiness and fears pain, just as one of us wants to live and not to die, so do the other creatures of this planet. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It is because I agree with the Dalai Lama that I give you my first contention. Contention 1. Animals deserve the ability to live a life free of pain, suffering, and oppression. The fields of science that my opposition will likely try to glorify have proven without any doubt that animals can feel pain and can be fearful. If humans are the most intelligent and intellectual species, why can't we respect the intrinsic rights of the other species of this planet? Why must we abuse the life and sanctity of another living, breathing, thinking creature to achieve a new consumer good? Subjecting other creatures to a scientific form of torture is not only morally impermissible, regardless of the ends, especially considering the alternatives, such as advanced computer imaging technologies that provide more robust data that doesn't cause preventable harms and needless suffering to innocent animals. This leads me to my contention too. The alternatives to testing with animals are more expedient, cost-effective, and more precise. Scientists at private companies, universities, and government agencies alike are all developing new cell and tissue tests, computer models, and other sophisticated methods to replacing the existing animal tests. These alternatives are not only humane, they also tend to be more cost-effective, more rapid, and more reliable than traditional animal tests. Nearly 50 different alternative methods and testing strategies have been developed, validated, and accepted by the international regulatory authorities. Here are a few examples. EpiSkin, Epiderm, and Skin Ethic are composed of artificial human skin. These will save the lives of hundreds of thousands of rabbits and other animals each year from painful skin and corrosion tests. Using blood from human volunteers to test for the presence of fever-causing contaminants and intravenous medicines will save hundreds of thousands of animals' lives every year. What we have to see is that the alternatives to testing are more moral compared to the extremely immoral and impractical use of animals as test subjects. It is for these reasons that I urge a pro-ballot in the sense that we are this prolific species, and because we are this prolific species, we can respect the other rights of these other individuals and these other animals, saying that we don't have to abuse them, we don't have to cause them preventable harms, and we can use the other alternatives. For these reasons, I see no reasons why animal testing should not be banned. Thank you. I look forward to my opponent's next speech. Stop recording.